Hello, and welcome to another session. This session we're going to be focusing on our technique and our concept of out and ins, how to create dynamic between our partnership, adding a little bit of flair with some stylings that we are going to show you, and talking about just how we move.
Yeah, as well as a hesitation. We'll be doing a lead rhythm change. We'll also be practicing to the sounds. Where you going, Road? We'll be practicing to the sounds of Jonathan Stout and his Campus 5 with Hillary Alexander. So if you'd like to support the musicians that are still playing today, please go ahead and check out their album. We're using the album Moppin' and Boppin'. That's not gonna work.
It's hilarious. Let's get into some out and ins.
We'll do Jeremy and Laura style of out and ins.
So here we go.
Our out and ins look like this.
5,
6, 7, 8, and out. And slowly in, out, slowly in, out, slowly in, out, slowly in. Shoot, shoot, da-doo, shoot, da-doo. Alright, we would like to have you join us trying on our style, our movements in out and ins. And just realize this might be slightly different from things you've learned before. Hopefully you have done some out and ins before. And give this a try and then see how it feels. Take what you like and go from there.
All right, from the top, we're going to focus first on the rhythm. You may know this already. The rhythm is quick, quick, slowly, quick, quick, slowly. For all of us, let's just begin with our left foot. I'm going to reach my left foot slightly behind as I begin here.
My left foot's for you, Jeremy's left foot is for you. You can see me from the reverse view.
Right. So everybody take your left foot slightly behind your right foot. As we reach back, that's our first quick, and then we take our right foot for the second quick.
Together.
And then we reach forward with our left foot, and then roll over that foot and just collect the free foot. Good. And then we have back, and then we step together, and then we step forward, and then we collect.
Yeah.
Good.
So one of the ways we think about this that might be new to you is we actually like to find a lot of split weight moments, just like when we walk. This is part of what makes our walking really smooth.
Rolling.
Yeah. We roll across our feet to help our walking be smooth, but also when we walk, most of our time is spent transitioning between feet rather than staying over one foot. So the next thing we want you to try is doing the same rhythm, but actually being split weight, letting your weight transition between 2 feet before you arrive on that. So I will face forward this time. Let's change things up. We both need to be able to go back on our right foot first or on our left foot. So let's start with the right foot free. And at this point, I want you, as you get ready to go back, our body's going to drive us back, just like a Pure Balboa basic. Extend that leg, let the heel stretch towards the floor, and then we're gonna arrive split weight. So I have about 60% on my right foot, slightly behind. And then at the last second, that's count 1. On 2, at the last second, I'll pull my left foot together. Yeah? This is 2, and then on 3, I'm gonna be split weight again. I'm rolling over the arch of my right foot. And then count 4 when I gather is when I've completed my weight change. Our left foot's free, so we're gonna go split weight and then bring that right foot together, slowly transition. Left weight goes arch and then transition to the ball. Yeah, so we're not fully transitioning our weight again until as late as possible, which helps us to kind of have that swung lag in our out and ins. Instead of having like a sharper, more Charleston, 1, 3, 5, 7, we're actually looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So you think of like an accordion. It just builds up. I stretch the accordion out, stretch it in, stretch away, stretch it in.
Yeah, we're using those even beats to transition instead of the odds. So if you're used to Lindy Hop, you might be used to kind of hitting those odds. We invite you to join us in transitioning through.
Cool.
Let's go ahead and use our arms to practice easing into those even beats.
So if you want to grab an object, I have a little tube here to hold on to. And Laura, I think, is grabbing the pillow. Right. So for me, leaders, as I connect in out and ins, I tend to keep my right side closer to Laura's body than my left side.
This is different than our Pure Balboa. In Pure Balboa, Jeremy keeps the left side a little closer, so his body's angled towards me. When we go to out and ins, Jeremy keeps a V shape. So if we turn to face you, we have a little bit of a V shape, so Jeremy's right side is closer to me. Follows, I'm still looking directly over my lead shoulder. So my sternum goes straight forward towards Jeremy's collarbone. Yeah?
Yeah, and what the mechanics I use, leaders, is I allow my right arm, I think about placing, if I were to hold this pillow real quick, I think about placing my follower inside my forearm here, as opposed to just holding on to the end or the outside of my follower's body here,
Yeah.
onto the hip. I try to fill up the space within my arm.
You do use the hip? Or you don't?
No, I reach my arm a little bit farther around as opposed to just placing my hand on the hip.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm going to imagine this is my follow here. As I'm going in and away, I'm going to move away from the object a little bit on the out, so I have 2 beats out, and then I have 2 beats in. But I bring my follower to the right side of my rib cage.
And that's why
over
Jeremy's
here.
holding something that Jeremy can only hold in his right hand, or so that he can focus on keeping the follow just on the right side instead of holding the follow right in front. If you are a follow, you can hold a pillow or your object right in front of your center, because I do think about my center pointing towards my lead.
Yeah. At this point, I'm not going to be using my left hand because I really don't need it to lead this type of movement.
So we're going to have you practice. If you watch just our arms for the moment, we're going to let our body move slowly away for 2 and in for
collect.
2. So we don't reach that maximum stretch point or maximum in point until 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3.
Step, collect.
So we'd like to have you try joining with us. If you're a follow, you can practice the arms, or you can get rid of that and focus. I'll have the lead still practice with the tube though.
I'll bring the tube
You're
back
not
in.
a follow yet, not at the moment. Follow is what I want you to focus on, is that really delaying your steps. Split, transfer together, split, and then relax the hip on the gather. If we hold our hips square, sometimes we have this tension that makes us want to know where the next step is. It's called anticipation. Yeah, so I want to help you avoid anticipating by actually letting your hip relax just a little and hanging out. Like maybe you're going to be here for 5 beats, 10 beats, 20 beats. Oh, okay, now my lead has let me out. So practice on that gather, letting your standing leg and hip just relax a little bit. Leads are going to practice
Just
2
the
beats
flow,
out.
2 beats out and 2 beats in. So I go out for 2 and in for 2. I try to keep my follower in the pocket of my forearm. And you may notice as when we show you again, that we actually sometimes brush as we come all the way in. So if I were doing my out and ins, I'm going out and in and roll all the way through to that foot, like Laura had mentioned. We should be able to hang out here for a long period of time.
My left hip is relaxed.
And then we go out in,
Yeah.
out.
So if you have a partner, you can try this with a partner. If you have an inanimate object, you can hold that. Join us in trying some of these split together, split, collect, or split. Relax the heel. That's the hip, not the heel. Relax the hip. Try practicing these together with us. I'll get rid of that. We'll show it together in case you want to see.
Let's pulse together because we are using the pulse for every single beat.
Find your rhythm. 1, a 2, hoop, a hope. Here we go. 5, a 6, and here we go.
We go out for 2, in for 2, out for 2, in for 2. Leaders, if you want to let go of your left hand and the follower's right hand and keeping just the hand on the follower's back, I should be able to do this. Ooh wah, out for 2, ooh wah, out for 2, in for 2.
Make sure your
for
arms
2.
are relaxed.
Breathe. Inhale, exhale.
Yeah, so that is the lowdown on the way Jeremy and I like to think about our flow for out-and-ins. The last thing that we did not mention, but you probably saw, is we tend to rotate our out-and-ins. We don't tend to do them just on the spot, like we were showing. So the last piece is we tend to pivot on that collect. So if we go split, actually I'll go sideways so you can see. If I go split, together, split, weight, you don't really want to pivot when your weight's transitioning, but once I start to collect, I can have a pivot to the right, or I can collect and pivot to the left. So you'll notice that most of our pivot is happening on that 4th beat. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Pivot. Quick, quick, slow, and pivot. Quick, quick, slow. Don't forget the pulse. We're still pulsing through that movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll notice that we're going straight back and straight forward like spokes on a wheel the rest of the time. That is a good habit to practice, although we'll start to break that rule once we get more comfortable. But primarily we're trying to get our pivot as our bodies are coming in, so we share the pivot versus pivoting when we go away and sitting into a leverage.
Yeah. So we're going to show you again. I'm going to let go of the left hand leaders because when we actually do out and ins, we don't use compression here, so our elbow should be able to pass our body. But just so you can see this, I'm going to take my hand off and you should be able to lead this. If you want to join us, you can. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and quick, quick, slowly, quick, quick, slowly, quick, quick,
Relax the
slowly,
hip.
quick, quick,
Relax the
slowly,
hip.
quick, quick, slowly, quick, quick, slowly, quick, quick, slowly, quick, quick, slowly.
Now's a good time if you'd like to talk about that technique with your partner. Try it a few more times. You can rewind the video and practice. But go ahead and pause the video and practice as much as you would like. Now that you're comfortable with our style of out and ins, theoretically, we would like to add some stylings that we like to mix into our out and ins. So we got 2 stylings that combine to make one big giant one. It looks like this. I'll go first.
1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3.
5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Jeremy's looks like this.
We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, so we're doing almost the same styling, we're doing the same rhythm. So we'll have you all join together to feel it. We'll start with the left-footed styling together. Do you want to talk them through? I will go
Sure.
from here.
So what we're going to do for our out, we're going to step back for 2 beats. This would be the count 5 for the follows or count 1 for the leaders. So let's step back for 1, 2.
Left foot.
Left foot, 1, 2. At this point, our left foot is free, so we're going to kick forward or sweep forward.
Diagonally out to the left corner.
And then we're going to cross over our right foot just a little bit. And that's going to be stepping on count 4. And then we do the second half of our basic, which was quick, quick, slowly collect. Good. If you want to add a little bit of extra nuance to this, you can step back to the left leaders and followers. You want to step slightly left, and then I'm going to cross my right foot or pass my right foot in front of my left foot.
Your right foot's so crass.
And then my left foot's going to swing out and around and step on count 4, and then we do the second half of our basic 5, 6, 7, 8, or quick, quick, slow. Let me just give you my back angle so you can see that.
Yeah, so follows, typically I would start with 1, 2, 3, 4, and then start from here. So if you haven't figured that out, you can do that, fellows. You can do your 1, 2, 3, 4. Now everybody's left foot is free. So we're gonna go back, and like Jeremy did the second style, we'll step slightly behind our standing foot, left foot back, with the left foot back, crossing the right foot in front, so our feet are a little bit crossed. Now our left foot's gonna kick forward, diagonal left, and then we're gonna step in for the count 4, or follows this count 8. And now we can start back with our right foot for typical 5, 6, 7, or for follows that would be 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Yeah, try that with us a couple of times. Follows will begin 1, 2, 3, 4, and then every time instead of our normal 5, 6, 7, we're gonna go 5, cross 6, kick 7, cross 8.
Yeah.
So we cross on 6 and 8. Leads, you'll do the
Cross
same thing.
on we cross on between 2 and 3 and step on 4.
Yeah, so every time we'll just practice this, every styling, minus the first one follows 1, 2, 3. We'll do a normal one, the first 8 count.
Well, I'll just start my normal 1 leaders for a whole 8 count. You can start the
Okay.
second.
5, 6, 7. I have a basic out and in 3. Here I go. 5, cross, kick,
leaders
cross.
go. Rock, cross, kick,
Follows
cross.
go. Back, cross, kick, cross.
Step, cross, kick, cross.
Back, cross, kick,
And
cross.
step, cross, kick, cross.
Back, cross, kick, cross. One more time. Facing the other way. 5, 6. Here we go. A 1, 2. Get
3,
ready. Follows.
5,
Back,
6.
cross, kick,
Leaders.
cross.
1, 2, 3. Cross over.
5,
6,
6,
7.
7.
Leader, step, cross, sweep, cross
Follows.
over.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Great.
Yeah, so if you'd like to see that together, it looks like this. I'll go just like we did. I'll go every 5, 6, 7, 8. Jeremy will go the second 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7.
A 1, 2,
Here I go.
3. 5,
cross,
6,
kick,
7.
cross.
Leader, drop, cross, kick, cross.
Back, cross, kick, cross.
Leader, step, cross, sweep, cross.
Back, cross, kick, cross.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
8. Now what you'll notice is even though we're doing stepping on that second beat, we're trying to progress our body in and out at the same
Slowly
speed.
out, slowly in.
Slowly out, slowly in. So then when I step in, you'll notice I'm stepping on the ball of my foot because I'm stepping so late, and then I let my heel drop just before I go back. Versus a normal in, I tend to go back together, heel to ball. On this particular one, I end up rolling toe down because I'm stepping on that second beat instead of the first one.
Right, and if you notice, leaders, as I'm doing my styling here, I keep my body a little bit open to the left. If I were to start an 8 count basic, I sort of prep on 7 and 8. So watch me. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. My body might angle a little bit more here, so I have a little bit more room to sweep across. And when I step, you notice that I'm stepping, I'm not pointing my toe towards my follow, I'm stepping to the instep, and then I have the rest of the 5, 6, 7, 8
Yeah.
to complete.
So if you need to see that or practice it a few times on your own, we can do that. You can pause and practice. We're going to go ahead and continue on and add the other styling, assuming that you're ready. So we're going to focus on the right side now. So we can leave that left side alone. We'll let it be plain and simple. Let's just get it basic out and in back into our system. 5, 6, basic out and in.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Stop. Yeah? So now with the right foot is free for the follows on our 1, 2, 3. And leads, if you just do half a basic.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now your right foot is free.
Right?
This time, instead of stepping back for 1, 2, back together, or 5, 6 for the leads, we're actually going to let that leg extend. We're going to do a stretch in our center, and then we're going to hold and step. Are we crossing on this one or not?
We can, or you can.
Let's
I
not cross. You do cross?
I cross a little bit.
Jeremy does a little cross. I'm going to step straight down. And we're going to step on the second beat again, so count 4 for as follows. Hold for 1, 2, 3, step 4.
Leaders, we're holding, since we're on our left, and this is going to begin on 5, 6, 7, 8, you're going to see 5, 6, 7, I cross over, count 8, or I'm giving the right side of my body to my follows.
And follows, it's nice that I'm pointing towards you here, because what you'll see is I hold for 1, 2, and then I like to open my toe for 3, and then step 4 onto the ball. So I almost have a little bit of a cross. Drop down 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, so you can see from the other angle.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Let me just show one more thing. That 1, 2 follows. I'm going to extend or slide my foot for 1, 2, open 3, 4. Yeah. So you can see again. I extend 1, 2, open the toe, 3, step down 4. So I'm not stepping until the last second. You could also play with circling that foot. You could go 1, 2, 3, 4. To take the time, you could do a slide. You could even do a kick. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you could just wait until that 4 to make the transfer. So feel free to play with that leg, however feels good to you. Let's do it on repeat a few times.
Yeah, I'm going to face you this time, leaders. As I go back, I tend to bring my center back a little bit. I got this inspired by Maxie Dorf. So as we're going to reach back on count 5, can we start with the basic?
Sure. Let's actually just start back. That right foot is ready. Let's go hold
5, 6,
and
7,
step down,
8.
and then we'll finish
Quick,
out
quick,
and forward.
slowly.
Hold, step down, here.
Bum, bum, hold,
Oh, I think-
step down.
Let's do the same thing
Yeah.
together. Let's all join in. Right foot is free.
Right
We're
foot
going to
is free.
stretch for hold, step down.
Quick,
5,
quick,
6, 7.
slowly. Hold,
Hold,
step down. Quick, quick, slowly.
Out,
Hold,
out, in,
step down. Quick, quick, slowly.
Hold, step down. Yeah? So that's what we're going for.
Leaders, it's very important when you lead this movement or when you're doing this movement, because I'm not leading my follower to hesitate with me per se, but if I'm going to hesitate this movement, what I need to do is be aware that I'm not accelerating or pulling my right arm faster than the flow of my body. So as I'm going, if you notice that as I come in, I'm going to go like this from the side. 1, 2, 3. It's going to slowly out, slowly in, and not 1, 2, 3, 4 pull. Because the faster I pull, the sooner I want to step. So I need to sort of decelerate as I bring our connection back together.
Yeah, it's actually, this is a great exercise or a great styling to practice with an object so that you can practice extend, and in. And be thinking about really stretching your body out and in slowly for that, so you're not pulling your partner in.
Yeah.
So let's try this together and let's do it. We'll follow. Ours is going to be for 1, 2, 3, step 4, and then we'll do a basic 5, 6, 7.
And these are 5, 6, 7, 8.
So beginning on count 1 follows.
5.
Let's do a full basic to start. 5, 6, 7, basic.
1, 2, 3, 4, follow.
Follows over here.
1, 2, 3, leaders
Four.
go. 5, 6, 7,
Follows
step
go.
8. 1, 2,
3, step
leaders
4.
go. 5, 6, 7,
Follows.
8.
1, 2, 3, step
Leaders go.
4.
5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, step 4.
Slowly out and step.
1, 2, 3, step 4.
Slowly out and step.
Yeah.
Good.
We'll show this together.
It's a little bit easier with connection.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
one is actually better with the person. So follows, I'll do a full basic. Jeremy can go on 5, 6, 7, and then I'll start on 1, 2, 3 of my second basic.
5,
Join with us if you'd like.
5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3.
Jeremy goes.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Follows go 3, 4.
5, 6, 7. Leaders go. 1, 3. Hold, step.
Hold, step, 5, 6, 7.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, step. 5, 6, 7,
Follows
8.
go. Hold, step, 5, 6, 7.
1, 2, leaders go. 5, 6, 7, step 8.
Let's go 3, 4, 5. Here, go. 1, 2, 3, step 4.
5, 6, 7, 8. Good. The one thing that we are doing as we're keeping the flow there is we are still maintaining a little bit of pulse as we rock over the standing foot. Is that whichever free foot is for you, then
Yeah.
we're just waiting and sort of rolling over that left foot. I believe it is for you. Left
Yeah,
foot.
exactly. My left foot is my standing foot, and I'm pulsing over it. You'll notice if you're doing that with partners, we like to wait for each other to take a turn. So I let Jeremy do Jeremy's before I do mine, and vice versa. That way you're not going every time, and your partner's trying to figure out when they can do it. Although technically we can just alternate, or we could do it at the same time.
And a great way to practice this as well, I've sort of trained with like a doorknob or anything like that. I know it's not a awesome lower key, but just understanding like how fast your body's pulling. If I were to have an object, can you give me your wrist real quick? So I can practice on let's say a stationary object where I pull my energy in, shoot, and it sort of drifts back in. You notice I'm not following through or pulling. I let it sort of drift back in.
Yeah. So at this point, again, you can practice one or the other. You can
Right.
practice that right foot stretch and in, the follows version or the leads version, or you could try the left foot with the back cross,
Ooh,
kick,
yeah.
cross.
All together.
Or if you like, you can practice both. Yeah. So if as a follow, I'll probably start personally. I would start with the left foot first, and then finish with the right foot. So it looks something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, cross 6, swing 7, cross 8, and now I would do my hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, step 4, and then a plain 5, 6, 7. So yeah, the styling ends up crossing between 2 8 counts, but they go back to back. I'll show you what it looks like by myself. If you'd like to try it with me, you can. 5, 6, here I go. 1, 2, get ready.
5,
Cross,
7, 8,
cross,
1,
stretch.
2, 3.
Step 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back, cross, kick,
7, 8,
cross,
1, 2,
hold.
3,
Step 4,
5,
5,
6,
6,
7,
7, 8.
8.
If the leads need to see what Jeremy would do.
Alright, I'm going to go over the footwork all together again. So it looks like this. I have a basic 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Open up for 1, 2, or on the end of 7, 8, and go rock, cross, kick, cross. We hold 6, 7, step 8.
When you say open up, you mean turning your
To
body
the left.
open a little?
Yep.
Yeah?
Just so you can see me, if you tend to do out and ins a lot more square, or even if you have a little bit of angle, I still open up. So you'll notice here, I'm going to freeze on 7, 8. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. You notice my body's open at this point. This gives me freedom to step and cross for my 1, 2, 1, 2, and I sweep across. 3, I step 4. Now I just stay on that left foot as I hold for my out. 6, 7, I step count 8. When I step count 8, I'm stepping more of a diagonal. My toe is not facing my partner. As I step 8 here.
Yeah.
Do the toe penny one more time.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
here.
Leads, if you'd like to try it with Jeremy, you can. Are you going to start on count? What
Let's
count
do one
is it?
basic.
One full basic, and then you'll start on the second set of out and ins.
Yeah.
5, 6. Here we go. Basic
1,
out,
2,
and then
3. Get ready. Here we go. Step, cross, kick, cross over. Hold. 6, 7, step 8. Rock, cross, kick, cross over. Hold. And 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
Here you
Get
go.
ready. And rock, cross, kick, cross, hold. Step.
Yeah, follows. I find when Jeremy does this extra hold, I almost want to join in. So sometimes I end up going 5, 6, tap 7, step 8. And if you find yourself doing some variation as your lead does it, if it just feels like you want to join in, don't restrict that in yourself. I think it's good that we allow our footwork to be inspired by our partners. So if we do this alternating so you can see what it looks like.
I'll start with the basic and I'll just let Laura go first. 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3.
Here I go
5,
back,
6,
cross,
7,
kick,
8,
cross,
1, 2.
hold, and in.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go. 6, 7, 8. Rock, cross, kick. 5, 6, 7, 8.
So the two actually go really well together if we both happen to do it at the same time. I do recommend if you're just learning this, take turns.
Yep.
Let your partner go, then you give it a try. Alright, so now is a good time for you to pause the video and practice by yourself or with a partner, one version, the second version, or the whole combination.
Moving forward, we're going to practice doing a lead move, a lead hesitation actually.
A rhythm change in our out and ins.
Mm-hmm.
The move looks like this. We'll do a little bit of a promenade.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So we'll begin this move solo, and actually we'll start with our backs to the camera here. So you can follows, you can look at me, leads, you can look at Jeremy. And what we'd like for you to do is just walk through 1, 2, 3, 4 of your basic, actually do you mind if I trade sides with you? I think that will be easier to see. So we'll do half a basic out and in. 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And then this next 5, 6, 7, both of us are actually turning slightly to the side. We're going side,
5,
and then almost together,
6.
we drop down. Our inside foot, my left, Jeremy's right. Up.
8.
And then we slowly move forward. At the last second, we bring that foot through, and we drop down onto it for 9, 10. Yeah? So we're taking what would normally take about 8 counts and adding 2 more beats on it. Now that hesitation moment follows on the right foot with the left foot behind, leads on the left foot. We'll face each other now so people can see our sideways angle. We're looking to drop down onto that foot so we have a big, obvious, slow motion elevation change. In fact, what I want you to do is I want you to pretend like you're in the movies and slow motion comes on, fast action scene, and we're moving and we're running before the enemy comes and hits us. And that's kind of the idea with our hesitation, is we're trying to make it look like we suddenly went into slow motion while we're dancing.
The most problematic areas that I notice with leaders is us bringing our knee too far in front of our body.
Too fast.
Too fast. If your knee is in front of your body, it tends to pull your torso over quicker.
For leads and follows.
Yes. So what I'm going to do is, as I hesitate, I'm going to keep my right foot behind me
My
here
left foot
and
behind.
slowly bring it around, and then at the last moment, bring it in front of my body as I step.
Yeah.
I also step landing onto the heel and then rolling to the ball because it may be a slow, and I just want to have a nice transition and cushion as opposed to hitting an end
Yeah.
real sharp.
We could go up and stop, but for us, we're actually looking for a roll across. We go down, up, move across. Yeah? So try that with us. We do half a basic, 1, 2, 3, 4. We go to the side for 5, 6, we go down, 7, we go slowly up, 8, we go as tall as we can, maybe even on the toe of our
Right,
standing
releve
foot.
maybe a little bit.
And then 9, we bring this knee through, and land down 9, 10, rolling across heel to toe.
Okay.
With us. 5, 6, half and out and in.
1, 2, 3.
We go.
5,
Side,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and out and in.
We'll finish with another out and in. Together, it looks like this. Half a basic. 5, 6, 7.
1, 2, 3,
To the
4,
side.
5,
Down.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out and in, out and in. From this angle,
Yeah. We'll face a little bit on the corner so you can see that.
if you notice there's space here right now, I'm going to close that gap on count 4. So
5,
look for that.
5, 6, 7.
I go 1, 2,
3, get close.
5, 6,
Slow
7,
motion.
8,
Keep that free leg behind
Right,
you as much as
sorry.
possible. Well, especially follows. And then
9,
last second,
10.
we extend.
Reorient my direction here.
Face your partner.
Quick,
Out
quick,
and
slow.
in. We don't fully face each other. We just reorient towards each other.
Yeah.
So join with us. Let's do that together. We'll do 1 8 count of out and ins first, and then the second one will go into this. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2,
3,
4,
5, 6, 7.
half a basic.
Adjust. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reorient. Up. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. If we do it with a come around, you'll most commonly see us do a little bit of a come around or a little rotation into this. So we'll do a basic that's rotating
1,
clockwise.
5, 6, 7.
Jeremy will
1,
continue to
2,
rotate.
Adjust. 5,
Side
6,
down,
7, 8, 9,
step
10.
down.
Quick, quick, slow. Quick, quick, slow.
So a good thing to do right now would be to practice that either with a partner or if you're by yourself. I'd love to have you practice with music and see if you can find a moment in the music that makes you want to go slow motion. And then dance out, adding your pulse back in as if the time got slow and then suddenly the time drags right back in.
Right.
We'll show you right now to music so you can watch us, but you can join in whenever you're ready as well.
I'm gonna hurry home to you to let you know that I've been through. Baby, my plane is leaving, 9:20 is on its way. Can't wait to hold you oh so tight and squeezing you with all my might. Baby, my plane is flying, bringing me home to you. I thought about you, I missed you so much. Thought I lost your magic touch. Thought you were mad, I felt so bad till you called and we made up. But now that everything's okay, the plane is winging on its way. Baby, 920 specials, making my dreams come true.